Good morning, friends. Here we are down in the Harry Potter closet under the stairs, otherwise known as my hobby room. This is Matt from Flat Fender Crawlers. Today we are working on a 8th scale truggy. This is a Losi 8T 2.0. What we're going to do today is we are going to remove this center differential right here. We're going to go through it. I've got new bearings for it. I want to check the gears, make sure everything is good. Check the out drives, make sure they're good to go. This thing has seen a lot of abuse for many years. In fact, I've had this for about 12 years. 11 years, I guess. Just got done rebuilding both the rear and front differentials, replaced all the gears, the diff housings, new bearings, new grease, new diff oil, good to go there. I also just put this cheap aluminum or cheap eBay aluminum top brace there. We'll see how it goes. It was like 14 bucks on eBay, and because this is an 8T 2.0, it is very difficult to find parts for it. It is old and the parts are scarce now, so it's still got a lot of life in it, in my opinion, and I don't want to get rid of it. So here we are. I got a JX 46 kilogram servo in there. Got an aluminum servo arm. Excuse me, man, I'm having a hard time with my words. Castle 2250 kV brushless motor. Mamba X ESC. I'm also running, you can see a lead here, I'm running a BEC. I power my servos off of BEC. Always, always, always. So, I'm going to reposition the phone here, and we're going to get to it. Should be a pretty quick and easy disassembly. Okay, here we go. I got my tools laid out. I got my ProTech standard drivers. I have my speed bits, which are my 5/64ths and my 3/32. Got my handy dandy Bauer drill, Harbor Freight Special. I love this thing. Man, I just love this drill. Over here, I got my magnetic bowls and some extra trays just in case. In this, I got my bearings. You can see my shocks over here. I got to rebuild the shocks for this still, but that is a task for another time because I don't want to do it right now. I hate building shocks. All right, let's jump right into it. We're gonna get this thing taken apart pretty quick, pretty easy. Now, if you flip this upside down, actually, what I want to do first here, I'm gonna pull. No, you're right. I'm gonna stick with the plan. Flip this upside down and take out these 4 screws right here. You may have noticed that I've got this stacked up or propped up on a Sterilite brand plastic, I guess organizer, a Walmart special. Some people use them for shoes. It might be called a shoe box in the storage aisle. For this 8 scale truck, it just works better. It's more stable than my RC stand that I've got. So for this one, I just use it then. It also comes in really handy too when you're taking stuff apart. Like when I rebuilt the diffs just a few days ago, I would take this whole assembly off and then blow all this stuff apart, and it just gave me a place to store parts as I was working on it. Okay, 4 screws are out. I'm gonna flip this back over. On the center diff, motor mount, all that is gonna come loose. So sometimes you can, there you go. Just prop it back and that front out shaft comes out. Boom, there we go. Nice, easy disassembly. Now, I'm gonna pull the motor off. All right, man, that was easy, super fast. Oh, I got this apart. I keep an old toothbrush here. I just like to keep things clean best I can. There we go. So now that we got that apart, or off of the chassis. I'll move this to the side. Put that over there, out of the way. Now we got my workspace here. So get this apart. Now we got to take these top screws out. Oops. Top piece comes off. Motor plate slides off. This one slides off. That's it. Easy peasy. Inside there, everything actually feels real nice. It's spinning well. I don't feel any grinding or crunching or anything like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up, wipe it all down, take these 4 screws apart, pull it apart, because I gotta replace these saddle bearings here. So it's good to get all the dirt and stuff cleaned off before you start breaking that diff apart. Even though we're going to replace that oil anyways, it's still nice. You want to get as much stuff off as you can. Unless you're going to hot tank this or put it in the ultrasonic or something like that, or really scrub it out, which I'm not going to do today. That looks pretty good. All right, 4 more screws. Set this closer. Oops, thought it was in my hand. These magnetic bowls, man, they're just worth their weight in gold when you're working on stuff. Most often, when you go to Harbor Freight, you can get a coupon, or unless you're a member there or something. But anytime I go there, I get another magnetic bowl, because it's usually like $1 or $1.99. Sometimes they'll give it to you free with the purchase, which I know I talk about Harbor Freight a lot in my videos. I don't go there often, but anytime I do, I try to just grab one of those. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna grab a new paper towel. Oops. Come on. There we go. So that gear slides off. Then in here, we've got a pin, which I can't grab because it's too oily. Grab one of my little picks. Push that out. Gear comes off, the out drive slides off, or out, however you want to look at that. And that gives us the chance to pull this bearing off. I'm just going to throw that right in the trash, because I know I've got a brand new bearing that's ready to go. These out drives actually look really good. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah. There's really not any wear going on in here. They look really nice. So I'm just going to reuse those same out drives. Pull this gasket off. Try not to rip it. because we're going to use it again. Pin for the out drive. It's good. I'll go ahead and dump these out. Just use my pick, fish them out of there. Down on the bottom, there's one more of these larger gears for the differential, which is sometimes a pain to get out because this differential oil, I believe, if I remember right, this is 3,000 weight that I put in here. It's kind of sticky. So down on the bottom we got another one of these pins holding in the out drive. Fish that out of there. The out drive comes off. Set it here. Bearing comes off the outside. Throw that in the trash. Your oil's always going to be a little dark from wear, but it's really not bad. I don't see any metallic chunks in there. You know, it's not glistening like it would if there was metal. I have a shim down there though. Okay, got one more fresh paper towel here. Then we'll start with the reassembly, which is the exact opposite of what we just did. Everything we just did, we're just going to undo. Oops. We'll see though. I remember now, a few years back, right before I put this up on the shelf, pretty much, and let it sit, my boy was driving it, and the pinion gear spun off and hit the spur and kind of destroyed both. And it looks like we got a little marring here on my diff case. What I might do is, give me just a second and I'll be right back. I believe I've got another diff case here. Okay, here we are back, and look what I have. LOSB 3528 heavy duty diff case for 8, 8T, LST, and XXL2. That is this exact same case. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna use it. It's nice, it comes with new O-ring, new gasket, these new, I don't know what those are called, but those new little guides to hold the gears on. I'm not going to throw this away though, because I don't like to throw stuff away that you just might need someday. This is still working, but the integrity of the case is definitely compromised a little bit, but that's okay. I think we still got some life in there. If we had to, in a desperate situation, we could totally use it. So I'm going to put this little O-ring back in so that we have it. I'm going to set this aside, and I will put that in a little bag and put it in my parts bin. Hold on to that for whenever, you know. Just, you never know when you're going to have, I will have what I would call a RC emergency. Especially with this thing too, being a 2.0, parts are scarce. This thing's old, it's been used, and it's been around for a long time, but it's difficult to find things. So the other out drive looks good too. So, all right, let's start with the reassembly here. I'm going to open this up. I need to drag this on longer than we have to. Need to get a little black grease. which I've got up here. Also gonna need some more 3000 weight diff oil. Alright, so I've got my black grease. I think this is Team Associated, yeah, Team Associated brand. Doesn't matter if it's Losi brand, Associated brand, Huddy, doesn't matter. Black grease is black grease. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my diff case. I'll put a little bit down inside the hole where the outdrive shaft goes. Same thing on the outdrive. I'm gonna hit this little grease channel here. Actually, there's a little bit of crud in there. Use my pick. Get that out of there. Paper towel. Boom. There's a grease channel in there. That's what it's for. So we'll put a little bead of grease right there. Slide that in. Oh, haha, what'd I forget? Got ahead of myself. Forgot my bearing. Have to put the bearings on the diff case first. Just slides right on. Okay, now put that outdrive in. Inside there, you'll see shaft came through. We got to put the O-ring on. I'll put my brand new parts in this little bin. I'm a huge proponent of having bins, bowls, cups, whatever you have to have around. Dollar store, Dollar Tree here in Windsor has these little bowls. There's 3 of them for $1. So it's very nice to keep yourself organized and clean when you're working on stuff. I started with a bath towel laid out across my kitchen table. Okay, so I'm gonna take this O-ring. There's a little bit of grease on the end of that out drive now. Just put a little of that grease on here, smear it all around. Goes over the out drive like that. Use my little pick or a little screwdriver or something to gently push it down. Oops, come on, work with me. Okay, this isn't working. Sometimes your finger. Push that down gently. You don't want to use the sharp end. Goes right into that groove. Now I'm gonna put that shim back on there. Shim goes between the O-ring and this pin right here. Can't see my. You gotta line up the holes on the out drive so that you can get that pin down in there. And grab. I need another paper towel. Grab my little jewelry pliers. A little tiny needle nose. Find that hole. Fish it in one side, push down on that shim. Slide it through. That's going to be centered. Okay, there we are. Now, you want to make sure that put just a little bit of this diff oil down in the bottom first. Take one of these gears. Double check it just to make sure, but all the teeth look really good. Yeah, very nice. Okay, drop this down in there. Goes over that shaft. Put some pressure on it and then spin that out drive until the gear, that pin, locks in on that gear. There it is. Seats down in there. Very nice. Okay. hit just a, whoops, got my cap on there kind of. Touch more in each corner. And these little spider gears go on a shaft. It's a keyed shaft. It's like Lincoln logs kind of. This one's gonna sit on top of that one, and those grooves, those notches lock into each other. These guides here, I mean, I have new ones, but I'm not gonna use them because this diff isn't great condition. So these guides have a chamfered edge, and that edge, that chamfered or beveled or angled edge, whatever you want to call that, is going to go out. I'm going to slide into this diff case like that. Just like so. Okay? We're going to do that process again. Now if these gears, if you had a new gear set, which I didn't open one, I have one, but I didn't open it, you would take your shaft, slide the gears on there, and then slide these guides on as well. So now we've got this shaft in there with the notch facing up. We're going to put this one in with the notch facing down. Oops, gear. My guide came off. There it is. This direction. It's going to be hopeless to try to align it perfectly before you drop it in there. So once you get it in there, you can kind of wiggle it around, spin the gears until it seats down in. All right, now we're going to get running low on my diff oil here because I just rebuilt 2 diffs. I'll put some of that diff oil in there. Now don't fill it all the way. Trick that I learned actually many years ago from a man named Adam Drake, who is big in the Losi racing world, is you fill it until it's starting to kind of fill in the void. Let that sit for a second because this stuff is thick and it'll work its way down. And then you're going to put the gear in like that. Oops. Once you put the gear in, then you're going to come along and fill in with the oil all the holes like that. Let that sit for a minute. While that's sitting, we're going to put our other outdrive back onto the ring gear for this diff. And if you remember, our brand new set of stuff here came with another new O-ring. So we'll use it. Why not? Actually, it's a good thing that it did because this O-ring's got a little bit of a ridge worn down on it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does. So we'll pull that one out. I'm actually just going to throw that right in the trash. I'm going to take this new O-ring, set it right there. Take our black grease, hit that grease channel, grease groove, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do the same thing in here where the outdrive goes in. Push that through. Take our O-ring. Get that grease off the end of the outdrive. Grease up our O-ring. Push it down in. We got another drive pin to put on. I'm going to see if I have a shim for that because it didn't come with another one, but do. I like to keep old parts, because you just never know when you're going to need one. And when I rebuilt the diffs, I bought all new outdrives. But this, I had a couple that looked pretty decent, but I kept one of the shims that I didn't use. So we're going to put that right there. Pays to keep parts, especially when they're hard to find. Okay, so I'm going to slide that shim down, just like that. Grab my little needle nose. This one's much easier to put in. Oops. I say that and then I struggle. It's easier because it's not down inside that diff cup. Wow. Oh my. I got grease on my gloves. Okay. I might grab actual needle nose. Got the grooves in them, makes it easier. Come on. There it is. Wow, that was goofy. There it is. Okay, now, oh man, diff cup fell over. Not paying attention here. You can see that it's almost settled down in there. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit more in. Then I'm gonna take my finger and wipe across the top. And then do a second wipe. When you put a little pressure on that gear, it kind of squeezes it up. And that, my friends, is how much diff oil you need in there. Okay, goes back together. The groove, the pin, seats in there, just like that. Nope, just kidding. Wow, almost forgot. My gasket. Now, go back together. Not all the way, there it is. I line up our holes. Which I didn't do at all. Stupid gasket. There we go. Okay. So a little quick little alignment. Boom. Now, brand new screws in my kit. I'm not going to go all the way tight, I'm just going to start it. Just to keep it from spinning. Brand new case, so there's no threads in it. Hear my little drill just working. All right, now I like to finish everything off by hand when I'm going into plastic for sure. Boom. Oh man. What'd I do? Got in a hurry. I get nervous when I'm doing these videos. Forgot to put my bearing on. Gosh dang it, man. When do you get mad? Or when you make a mistake, do you get mad? Do you laugh? What do you do? I laugh. I just take a breath and realize, whoops, made a mistake. Go back, fix it. I'm gonna blow this apart. I'm not gonna make you sit through it. I'll be back. Diff put together. I got a bearing on both sides. We're ready to put this truck back together. So, clean up my mess here. Move my gear oil, my diff oil, packages. Let's get this baby done. Slide the truck back over. Okay, so our front brace has a chamfered or angled edge, and this one's got a little notch for that saddle bearing to seat into. Okay, it goes right back on there like that. Yep. Our motor mount, hit my brush. Push off any of the dirt. Gonna go this way. Just kidding. Go this way. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Just like that. Then our top piece. Like so. Grab my stainless screws. Put them in there. Dexterity's just not there today. There we are. Start them. I'll run them down. Get it to where it's kind of becoming snug-ish. And then we'll tighten them in kind of an X. Like that. Like that. Like that. Okay. Seats nicely. Now we can put our motor back in the motor mount. I'm not going to tighten it down yet. What I'm going to do is just put it in there, just so it's not a piece flopping around. Then I'm going to grab one of my screws, get it ready. Because this is not hard, but it's, you got a big bulky piece, kind of wants to flop around. So make sure you get your out drives, dog bones, and the out drives, both front and rear. Hold this in place. Flip it upside down until your holes line up in there, and then just grab one of your screws and set it and kind of get it to where it's, don't go tight, but just till it pulls itself taut, you know? You can run in your other three. Just get them started. All right, now I'll loosen that one. I'll run these down, and it will pull itself into position because of the angled heads on the screws. There. Now after it's in position, snug each one up. These brand new tools are nice, but they stick in the hex head. There it is. Okay, it's a little long-winded, but it's fun. We're getting there. Now, last thing we got to do, loosen that motor. We got to set our gear mesh. And I like to have just, there's a paper trick you can do, but I don't actually slip the paper in there. I just like to wiggle my spur gear. So there's almost just a tiny bit of slack in there. That's what I'm talking about. That's it right there. We'll tighten that down. And that, my friends, is that. I appreciate you watching. Take a quick overview. Look here. Got that new diff case in there. Looks nice. Everything spins nice and smooth. Ready to go. All we gotta do is rebuild the shocks, get this baby out in the sand. I can't wait to put some running videos for you. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys very much. Like and subscribe. Keep checking back. I'm gonna get better and better at these videos the more I do it. And I'm gonna get some run content here very soon. It is like 12 degrees outside and there's many inches of snow on the ground here in Colorado. So we're gonna get to it soon. Thanks for watching, guys.